Hello student, this is the first part of the lesson Manufacturing Industries Geography class 10th. So come to the manufacturing industry. Manufacturing. So manufacturing means the producing goods in large quantities after processing from raw material to more valuable products. Manufacturing means manufacturing means what? Producing of goods in a large quantities after processing from the raw material to valuable or finished product. This is called the manufacturing. So manufacturing helps in transforming the raw manufacturing helps in transforming the raw material into finished products on a large scale and thus help earning profit as finished goods as costlier than the raw material. Means finished goods they becomes costlier than the raw material. For instance, paper is manufactured. Paper it is manufactured from wood. Sugar manufactured from the sugar cane. Iron and steel from the iron ore and aluminium from the bauxite. Then manufacturing sector is the backbone of economic development. Economic strength of the country is measured by the development of manufacturing industries. इकोनॉमिक स्ट्रेंथ जो है कंट्री की डिपेंड्स अपॉन व्हाट? मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इंडस्ट्रीज. Manufacturing industries help in modernize agriculture. Green revolution taken place and different tools, techniques used in the agriculture for taking more and more production within a few for saving the times. It is because of the manufacturing industries. It also helps by providing the atoms. It also helps providing by providing them jobs in secondary and tertiary sector. Manufacturing helps for what? Or helps to secondary and tertiary sector for providing the jobs. Industrial development helps in reducing unemployment. Then poverty from the country, from our country. It also reduces regional disparities by establishing industries in the tribal and the backward areas. The location of industries are influenced by several factors such as availability of raw material, labor, capital, power, and the market. It is difficult to find all of these factors available at one place for the production. So here production, what we have discussed, how production process is there for the in industries. People employed in the secondary activities manufacture in primary activities into finished good. Workers employed in steel factories, car, then breweries, textile industries, bakeries, etc. fall into this category. Some peoples are employed in providing the services. In this chapter, we are mainly concerned with the manufacturing industry, which fall in the secondary sector. Means manufacturing industry that comes in the secondary sector. The economic strength of the country is measured by the development of manufacturing industry that we have seen. So here importance of measuring. What is the importance of measuring country? Manufacturing sector is considered as the backbone of development in general and economic development in particular, mainly because manufacturing industries not only help in modernize agriculture. Manufacturing industries not only help in modernize agriculture, which forms the backbone of economy. Manufacturing sector is also called the backbone of economy. They also reduce the heavy dependence of people on agricultural income by providing them jobs in secondary and tertiary sector. Means because of industries, people gets work in the industries in secondary sector and also tertiary sector. Means burden that was previously on the primary sector agriculture, that relieves or that reduce in somewhat extent, and they move towards the secondary and tertiary sector. Means different type of underemployment problem was there in primary sector agriculture, that somewhat extent we have solved because of this secondary and tertiary sector through the manufacturing industries. Then industrial development is a precondition for the eradication of unemployment and poverty from our country. This was main philosophy behind the public sector industries and joint sector venture in India. It was also aimed at bringing down regional disparities. It was also aimed at bringing down regional disparities. Disparities means differences, by establishing industries in tribal and backward areas. Means local people, if the industry set up in the backward areas or in the tribal areas, means local peoples get the opportunity to work, and that area or people become self-reliant. They get work in their own areas. Third one, means we are discussing importance of manufacturing. Third important, export of manufactured goods expands through a trade. Export of manufactured goods expand trades and commerce and bring in much needed foreign exchange. So export of manufactured good, that is expand because of the industries, manufacturing industries, and expand the trade and commerce which needed for the foreign exchange. Then countries that transfer their raw material into the wide variety of finished goods of the higher values are prosperous. India's prosperity lies in increasing, इंडिया की प्रॉस्पेरिटी जो इंक्रीज हो रही है, and diversifying the manufacturing industries as quickly as possible. So as agriculture and industries are not exclusive of each other, agriculture and industry, they are not exclusive of each other, they move hand in hand. They are not different or separate, they are not exclusive, they move hand in hand, एक दूसरे से वो चलती है. For example, raw material, that is cotton, from the agriculture, it used to the industry for making the textiles, cotton textiles. That is why both these industries, they are move hand in hand, they are not separated. For instance, agro industries in India have given more boost to the agriculture. Agro industries के कारण boost मिली है, strength मिली है To whom? Agriculture, by raising its productivity. Means they farmers cultivate for sending their agricultural production to the industry for getting the value. They depend on the latter for the raw material and sell their products such as irrigation pumps, fertilizers, insecticides, pesticides, plastic and PVC pipes, machines and the tools, etc. to the farmers. Thus, the development and competitiveness of the manufacturing industries has not only assisted the agriculturist in increasing their production but also made the production process very efficient. In the present day world of the globalization, our industry needs to be more efficient and competitive. Abhi modern modern age, it is the age of globalization and there is need, our industry needs to be efficient, बहुत ही efficient होना चाहिए and competitive. Their production after all sent to the world market. Self-sufficiency alone is not enough. Our manufactured goods must be at the par of quality. Our manufactured goods, there is requirement that must be at par of our standard. Okay? Okay? Here, so production, it is not for the self-sufficiency alone, it is not enough. Our manufactured good must be at the par in quality and with those in the international market. Only then will be able to compete in the international market. So quality would be at par. Then competition would be there in international market of our industrial products. Then come to the contribution of industry to the national economy. Over the last 2 decades, the share of manufacturing sectors has stagnated. Stagnated means stable hua at the 17% of the GDP, gross domestic product, out of total of 27% for the industry which includes 10% for the mining, quarrying, electricity and the gas. This is much lower in comparison to some East Asian economies where it is 25 to 35%. The trend of growth rate in manufacturing over the last decade has been around 7% per annum. The desired growth rate over the next decade is 12%. Since 2003, manufacturing is once again growing at the rate of 9 to 10% per annum. With appropriate policy interventions by the government and the renewed efforts by the industries to improve productivity, then economists predict that manufacturing can achieve its target over the next decade. National Manufacturing Competitiveness Council, that is NMCC, has been set up with these objectives. So then come to the industrial location. Industrial location are complex in nature. These are influenced by availability of raw material, then labor, capital, power and the market, etc. It is rarely possible to find all these factors available at one place. Consequently, manufacturing activities tend to locate at the most appropriate place where all the factors of industrial locations are either available or can be arranged at lower cost. After all the industrial activity starts, urbanization follows. Sometimes industries are located in or near the city. Thus, industrialization and urbanization go hand in hand. Both these terms, industrialization and urbanization, go in hand, means both they are interdependent. Where industries are there, people start work there, and for the accommodation purpose, people from the rural area, they goes to the urban areas where industries are there, and because of industrialization, urbanization taken place. Means that is why this term, both these terms are hand in hand. Cities provide markets and also provide services such as banking, insurance, transport, then consultants, then financial advice, etc. to the industries. Many industries tend to compete together to make the use of advancement for the urban centers, and they are known as agglomeration economies. Gradually, a large industrial agglomeration takes place. So, what is agglomeration? That is, many industries टेंड टू कम टुगेदर, बहुत सारी इंडस्ट्रीज एक साथ आते हैं टू मेक द यूज ऑफ advantages offered by the urban sector, that is known as agglomeration of economy, because it is not affordable to the single industry to use all these resources or advantages offered by the urban center. For example, electricity, water, roads. Okay, so next is, in the pre-independence period, most manufacturing units were located in the places from the point of view of the overseas trade, such as Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, etc. Consequently, there emerged centers pocketed of the industrially developed urban centers surrounded by the huge agricultural rural hinterland. So here given about the industry linkage. First, that is input. Input is what? Raw material and component parts of the factors of production, that land, labors, capitals, entrepreneur and infrastructure. Then that after when the finished product comes from the industries, so it requires for adding value, that is transport, factories, then output products, transport, market, money. Means this is the picture given here. The key to decision of the factory location is least cost. Government policies and the specialized labors also influence the location of industry. So before establishing industry, there is inside of the industrialist where to set up the industry. So he has to keep in the mind that cost of obtaining raw material at the site, that should be low. Cost of production at site which would be low. Then cost of distribution of product, it would be low. List and decision to locate the factory at site is they consider all these things where the inputs require less price, and that then and then there would be possibility or there would be surety for getting the profit. Then come to the classification of the industries. Industries list various manufacturing products you use in your day life, such as transistor, electric bulb, vegetable oil, cement, or number of atoms. So here industries may be classified as follows on the basis of source of raw material used. Agro-based industry, they are cotton, woolen, jute, silk, textile, rubber, sugar, tea, coffee and edible oil. Then second, mineral-based industry, which are these? Iron and steel, cement, aluminium, machine tools and petrochemicals. So according to their main role, basic or key industries are those which supply their products as a raw material to manufacture other goods. For example, iron and steel, and copper smelting, aluminium smelting. Then consumer industries that produce goods for the direct use by the consumers. For example, sugar, toothpaste, paper, sewing machines, fans, etc. Different type of goods which we use for our daily needs. Then next one, on the basis of capital investment, means industries are divided on the basis of capital investment. So on this capital investment, they are divided into different categories. First one, that is small scale industries. First one is small scale industries, is defined with the reference to maximum investment allowed on the asset of unit. This limit has changed over the period of time. At present, maximum investment allowed is rupees 1 crore. Second one, on the basis of ownership, industries, they are divided or categorized on the basis of ownership. In this, public sector industries, private, joint sector, cooperative sector, this is the division. So what is public sector? They are owned and operated by the government agencies. For example, BHEL and SAIL. BHEL means Bharat Heavy Electrical Limited. Then private sector industries. Another classification, private sector industries. They are owned and operated by the individual or group of individual, that is TISCO, Bajaj Auto Limited, Dabur Industries. These are the example of private sector industries. And third one, that is joint sector industries. Joint sector industries. Joint sector industries which are joint run by the state and individuals. The joint sector industries which are jointly run by state and individual or group of individual, means Oil India Limited. Oil India Limited is jointly owned by the public sector and private sector, and that one is known as joint sector industry, जहाँ गवर्नमेंट का भी शेयर होता है and individual or group of individual. Then another one classification is that cooperative sector industries are owned and operated by the producers or suppliers of raw material, workers, or both. They pools in their resources and share the profits and losses proportionately. Such examples are sugar industries in Maharashtra and coir industries in Kerala. These industries, they are on the base of cooperative base or cooperative sector industry. Means they pool in the resources and share the profit and loss proportionately as per decided. Producers industries, they are owned and operated by the producers or suppliers for the raw material, worker, and both. They pool their resources in this cooperative. And next one, is on the base of bulk and weight of the raw material or finished good. On this base, heavy industries such as iron and steel industry, these are the example of heavy industries. Then light industries, that are light raw material and produce light goods such as electrical goods industries. Then here agro-based industries. So cotton, jute, silk, woolen, textile, sugar, edible oil, etc. industries are based on the agricultural raw material. So first it is textile industry. Cotton textile industry, that is textile industry occupied unique position in Indian economy because it contributes significantly to industrial production 14%, employment generation 14%, 35 million person directly, and second largest after the agriculture and foreign exchange, earning about 24.6%, and it contributes 4% towards the GDP. Textile industry ka what is the contribution? That is 4% to the GDP. It is only the industry in the country which is self-reliant. This industry is self-reliant and compete in the value of chain, that is from raw material to the highest value added product. Then cotton industry, come to the cotton industry. So in ancient India, cotton textiles were produced with the spinning and handloom weaving techniques. After 18th century, power looms came into use. Our traditional industries that suffer setback during the colonial period because they cannot compete with the mail cloth from the England, and that is why our industries, they were decline in colonial period because they were handmade. Our traditional industries suffer setback during the colonial period because our production that was handmade by the weavers, and in front of the mechanized products from the mechanized industries, machineries or large scale production, our weavers were not unable to compete with them. Then as on 30 November 2011, there were in 1946 cotton and human made fibers textile mill in the country. About 80% of these are in the private sector and rest in the public and cooperative sector, means that is joint venture. Apart from this, there are several thousand of small factories with 4 to 10 looms. Then in the early years, cotton textile industries was concentrated in the cotton growing belt of Maharashtra and Gujarat. Availability of raw cotton market, transport including accessible port facilities, labor, moist climate, etc. contributed towards the localization. These industries has close link with the agriculture and provides living to the farmers, cotton balls, pluckers, and the workers. They are engaged in ginning, spinning, weaving, dyeing, designing, packaging, tailoring, and the sewing. The industry by creating demands support many other industries such as chemical and dyes, packaging material, and the engineering works. So, while spinning continues to the centralized in Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Tamil Nadu, weaving is highly decentralized to provide the scope for incorporating traditional skills and the design of sewing in cotton, silk, zari, embroidery, etc. India has world-class production. India has world-class production in what? That is in swimming, spinning, but weaving supplies low quality of fabrics, as it cannot use much of the high quality yarn produced in the country. Weaving is done by the handloom and power loom and in the mills. So this is figures given, that is production of fabrics in India, given about the mill sector, that is power loom, handloom, and other, as per the 2009-10 and 2010 and 11. Figures are given: mill sector 3.3 and 2010-11 3.5, and handloom 11.3 in 9 and 10, and in 10 and 11 11.1, means that reduce, and power loom, that is 84.1 was there in 9-10, and in 10-11 that was stable as it is. Then study of the figures above that note the share of mills in the production of fabric. So why it is important of our country to keep the mill sector looming lower than the power loom and handloom? So India export yarn to Japan, where yarn goes from India, that is Japan. Other important of the cotton goods from India are USA, UK, Russia, France, and East European countries, Nepal, Singapore, Sri Lanka, and the African countries that export or goes from the India. Then in India has second largest installed capacity of spindle in the world, with 43.13 million spindles after the China, as per the survey of 2011-12. Since the mid-18th, the spinning sector has received a lot of attention. We have large share in the world trade of the cotton yarn, accounting for 1/4 of the total trade. However, our trades in the garments is only 4% of the world's total. So, our spinning mills are competitive at the global level. They are competitive at the global level and capable of using all the fibers we produced. The weaving, knitting, and processing units cannot use much of the high quality yarn that is produced in the country. There are some large and modern factories in these segments, but most of the production in the fragmented small units, most of the production that is done in the fragmentation, means divide karte hue, small units, which cater to the local market. This mismatch is major drawbacks for the industry. This is one of the drawback for this industry. As the result, As the result, many of the spinners export cotton yarn while appear garment manufacturers have to import fabrics. So here, although we have made sufficient increase in the production of good quality long staple cotton, the need to import still a failed. Power supply is erratic and machinery needs to be upgraded. Means this is the requirement of this industry in weaving and processing sector in particular. Other problems are low output of labor and stiff competition with the synthetic fiber industries. So another problem in front of this industry is low output of the labor. So there is need to increase the labor output by giving different facilities, different challenges to the laborers, and stiff competition. Then it would be possible to compete with the synthetic fiber industries. Then there would be possibility or surety for getting the boost to this local industry. So this is end of this lesson.